Here we are in Belém at COP30 at the Net Zero Nuclear Pavilion, and I am honored. It is a true pleasure to have with us Emilie Isaacs from Urenco. She's the Global Head of Government Affairs. Thank you, Emilie, for being here with us. As you know, Urenco is one of the main supporters and sponsors for the Net Zero Nuclear Initiative. So thank you for all your support.
It's our pleasure.
So COP30, one of the key elements is the just transition, right? So in this COP, we have a focus on people, we have a focus on protecting nature. So how can the nuclear industry be at the front and center of this just energy transition?
Thanks, Sama. And it's really important to the nuclear industry that we really focus on our people. And one thing with the nuclear industry being a very safe and regulated industry, it's really important that we have lots of skills and capability that we develop in our workforce. So in terms of upskilling people, as you know, you've got the older coal sites in the US, as they transition potentially to nuclear energy sites, those people will be upskilled and can come and work on our nuclear facilities too. So upskilling, focusing on people, that's really important to the nuclear industry. And at Urenco, we really believe that that's a key focus for us. So.
Well, thank you. No, I completely agree. I think that it's very essential that we make clear to people that having access to abundant, affordable, 24/7 clean energy is a key connection with prosperity. And then, as you said, the jobs and the opportunities that nuclear energy brings. So, following up on that trend, so what kind of government policies do you believe are the most effective to support this global tripling of nuclear energy that we are proposing for 2050? So and also, as a follow-up, what do you think are the things that governments can do to best integrate these overall low carbon strategies? It's not just nuclear, it's the entire big picture.
Absolutely. So, as you know, nuclear is a very long-term industry. That's what makes it a fantastic sector in terms of energy supply. So our nuclear sites are very long-term, they've run for a very long time, and what's incredibly important to the nuclear industry is long-term government policy, so long-term certainty. The investments that the nuclear industry needs to make are very significant, and we need to have that long-term stable outlook. So I would say long-term stable policy that enables companies like Urenco to make really work with our customers and have really long-term contracts. That really underpins our investment. So it can be very commercially driven with a long-term stable outlook. And the other thing I would say in terms of financing is the green taxonomy really shows that nuclear can be considered as a technology along with renewables to help with that energy transition as well. So when you consider nuclear as part of the mix, as well as a long-term stable outlook, I think those are the key government policies that we would suggest are the most effective.
Well, thank you. So, another thing that is very important that Urenco has also emphasized many times is that nuclear energy can produce, yes, carbon-free electricity, but also carbon-free steam energy. So how do you think that nuclear energy can help decarbonize many other sectors of the economy, technology, manufacturing, fuel suppliers, metallurgy, etc., etc.? So how can we best structure this to accelerate the deployment of nuclear?
Absolutely. Well, it's something that we found really interesting, and we've recently commissioned a study by Lucid Catalyst to look at exactly that. What is the potential for small modular reactors to help industrial sectors decarbonise? And we found that there is potential demand. It's a potential 700 gigawatt demand for North America and Europe. And then there's really certain sectors that it can be much more applicable to early on. So data centers, synthetic aviation, maritime fuels, chemical industry and coal plant repowering. So they're really some of the key sectors that we believe could benefit tremendously from small modular reactor deployment. There's also refining oil and gas, district energy, food and beverage sectors. So there is a real opportunity to look at that. But in order for that to be facilitated, there should be demand across, to facilitate that, there's some really specific policies or ways to implement that. So some of those are product-based manufacturing, product-based licensing as well. So we're moving away from a project approach to a product approach. And then also, I guess, key as well is making sure that there's sites available for SMRs as well to be deployed close to those industrial sectors. So it's a really exciting opportunity. It could really help unlock that tripling pledge, and welcome sharing that study.
Well, thank you. No, I think that probably we will make sure that we put a link to that study together with this interview so people have an opportunity to take a look and look at this fabulous opportunity. So let me just try to close with a call for action, really. So it's great to have goals and to have declarations, but if we truly want to triple global nuclear capacity by 2050, the industry and many others, we really need to deliver, right? So what do you think are the key strategies that the nuclear industry and governments and the finance community may need to put in place to make the deployment of new nuclear agile, competitive into the energy markets?
I think it's a great question, and that really is the key to delivery. How do we make it happen? So I think having a standardized approach is really important for this. Is for the small modular reactors. That allows that replication benefit, factory-based manufacturing, and that will enable, with the shorter lead times, better access to financing. We'll hopefully see more private sector money and investment coming into the sector as well. I think in terms of large nuclear, Sizewell C was a great opportunity or great kind of case study. The UK government put up, I think, 45% of the funding. That enabled other private sector companies to come in to help make that investment case as well. And then, as I mentioned, with the small modular reactors, you've got potential for, I think, 70% capital cost reduction with on-site construction, moving away from on-site construction to factory-based manufacturing, and some of those different delivery approaches that SMRs can bring that benefit of replication, shorter lead times, and more rhythm to delivery. And then hopefully, if we make the delivery better, more money will come into the sector, more financing options will be available, and that will enable more countries as well to come up, on board with nuclear as well.
So, I think that this is a common theme in the nuclear industry, right? We are trying to move from many first-of-a-kind individual projects to actually move to programs where we actually replicate the same design, the same idea over and over and over again. So yeah, that sounds like a very good call for action. So thank you so much, Emilie, for joining us at the Net Zero Nuclear Pavilion in Belém, Brazil at COP30. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Summer, and thanks for the WNA support. Thank you.